Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're all well. It's a pleasure to be here and to speak to you this afternoon. I will start by congratulating the Stereopsia team for this great conference. My name is Rehana SCHWINNINGER-LADAK and I work for the European Commission, where I'm the head of the unit in charge of interactive technologies, digital for culture and education. My Directorate General is the Director General responsible for communications network, content and technology, which supports all key digital technologies and application areas, and more broadly, the support to the digital single market, to the digital economy and digital society. So this obviously includes the support to culture and cultural heritage, as well as to the mainstreaming of technologies such as AR, VR, XR. So I'm particularly really pleased to be speaking today about the huge potential of this technology to open up cultural heritage and allow users to have an immersive experience of culture, cultural heritage, which is really dear to citizens, as we have seen it so often during the lockdown. Now, the area of culture and cultural heritage is important to the European Commission because it's an area where there are significant risks of irreversible damage or even complete destructions. And at the same time, it's an area where digital technologies have a huge potential to better preserve and promote heritage overall. The image of Notre Dame de Paris is in flames is still one of the most vivid images we all have of such risks. And unfortunately, these occurrences happen, be it fires, theft, vandalism, or simply erosion, pollution over time. So why digital? Because digital is key for digital access, for preservation and promotion of our cultural heritage. Digital technologies have also many valuable applications for reconstruction, for reuse in diverse areas such as education. And actually, when you look at all the technologies that I'm mentioning, these technologies help to further cultural heritage in various areas. Data, AI, 3D, and of course, I don't have to tell you, the audience here, to what extent AR, VR, 3D offer new ways of creating new forms of expressions, or simply for creativity, and have the power to inspire new audiences as well as regular ones. So let me share with you some interesting trends that emerged from the first wave of confinement during the spring. So as we all know, the cultural sectors, so museums, galleries, libraries, theaters, cinemas, cultural venues, heritage sites, monuments, all of them closed for 2 months, as well as the many SMEs and freelance that were providing services. And in many countries now, during the second wave, they closed again. So they have been severely hit by the confinement, like the industry at large. However, interestingly, what we have seen is that during the first confinement, many cultural heritage institutions took the opportunities offered by digital technologies. Some were already doing that, but we saw many more using digital technologies to offer new online content, new online activities. And we saw an increase in the availability and use of online content in innovative formats, such as in 3D, 360-degree videos, or in VR. And we had countless live and interactive online events, such as daily rendezvous, that really made the cultural experience overall very engaging. So you will find on the webpage of my unit at the Commission, it's called Cultural Heritage at Home, many interesting examples of the most innovative cultural experiences in 3D, AR and VR. So what we see, the emerging trend is that the first confinement was intense, was an accelerator in adopting digital technologies. And this allowed many institutions to keep their audiences and to connect with new audiences that were discovering cultural content in the context of the stay-at-home limitations. And this is promising as these new audiences reached by digital means during the crisis show a stronger interest to visit the museums and sites when they will be open fully. So a key aspect of digitized cultural heritage content is the significant value for reuse that it has for many sectors, for cultural and creative industries like fashion, like design, like architecture, entertainment, gaming, audiovisual, education, research to understand deeper our cultural heritage. And if we take the case of tourism, for instance, which is so important for many countries in the EU, we know that tourism suffered massively and is still going to suffer for some months. In tourism, remote digital experiences of cultural content, of cultural sites can help to attract new visitors. And they can also help to attract visitors to less known places. And that can contribute to more sustainability in tourism. So here we have really, really fantastic opportunities of reuse of high quality digitized heritage content. I will now speak about some initiatives that either are flagship initiatives for us or some that have shown some very promising results of how cultural heritage can use these very, very appealing technologies. So the Commission has been supporting the cultural sector for a number of years, of decades now, and in various ways, through policy actions or through our programs, our funding programs like the Creative Europe, the H2020, which is the Research and Innovation Program, and the Connecting Europe facilities. We have been funding a number of very interesting, noteworthy initiatives to this audience. And I will start with Europeana, which is our flagship initiative, which is the European cultural platform, launched in 2008. It is a fairly unique initiative of its kind, copied in its model by the Americans, Australians. It's inspiring Indians, as it's the only aggregator of its kind and of its size that brings the largest collection of digital objects from more than 30 countries. Europeana is an open platform giving access to more than 55 million digitized objects coming from more than 3,500 cultural heritage institutions, museums, galleries, archives, and many other cultural heritage institutions. All the objects are available online and can be used by artists, professionals from cultural institutions, and of course by the general public. And you always have with each object the right statements that tell you what kind of use you can use and reuse you can make of it. So our ambition is that all the material available through Europeana becomes high quality content that can be reused. And we want to have more 3D content because we know that 3D allows one of the most complete and comprehensive digitization of objects, of monuments and sites. So we want more 3D content that can be then reused for various purposes, for education, for research, and for creating new content, new creative content. So I really invite here the community, which is not in Europeana, as well as those who are interested to work with this community to join the Europeana community. And simply by looking for Europeana, you will find their site and you have all the contacts. Otherwise, of course, you can write to me. At the end of the slide, you have all the email addresses. Another very promising project, and I think they already came last year, so I won't go into detail. In any case, I don't have time for it, is the Marek Culture project, which really delivered some fantastic results, blending underwater archaeology with virtual visits, serious games, thanks to the use of immersive technology and underwater reconstruction. So very, very interesting, and really we hope to have more of this kind that really make appealing, you know, when you want to learn what is a Roman villa like. This project really allows you to have a flavor of it. Another project which is quite different is Emotive, which provided a powerful storytelling engine and a set of rich digital media sets that can be used to create detailed characters and narrative featuring archaeological sites or collections of artifacts. So the prototypes that were developed, they include AR and VR technologies, as well as 3D printed objects to convey two personal stories, one told by a Roman centurion and the other one told by a local Caledonian slave girls. Both of them narrating very personal dilemmas and issues of identity. Very, very emotional storytelling. And these stories were created with an authoring tool for cultural content creators, which can be easily transported for online use, combined with an easy to build 360 virtual space. Another project that is still quite vibrant is the VIN project, which has a community with many partners, and we have also UNESCO, which is associated. VIN is there to support the community to adopt advanced technologies. And VIN has published a manifesto, and it organizes regular conferences and seminars for the cultural heritage community to be able to adopt this kind of advanced technologies. An important toolkit in our package, of elements for the cultural heritage institution is the European Center, Competence Center for the Digital Preservation and Conservation of Cultural Heritage, which will start in January. Our ambition is that it will play a major role in supporting the implementation of the Member State Declaration, which was signed in 2019 by a majority of Member States, and which aims at furthering advanced digitization of cultural heritage through the use of mature technologies such as 3D, as well as AR and VR. And it aims at supporting institutions to adopt these technologies, and it will also give hands-on help on matters such as access to finance, legal requirements when it comes to publishing, promoting a wide-scale digitization in high quality. So we really have high hopes of this project. And now what about the future? Because this is important for you. I have been talking about the past, but what comes in the next programming cycle, which is going to be from 21 to 27. So, as I already mentioned, the support by the European Commission to cultural heritage will continue, as well as the support to interactive technologies such as AR and VR. So for those of you who are either in one area or the other, or who want to make the use of both possibilities on how to merge or bring together, the power of these technologies to further promote cultural heritage, there are a number of possibilities. The first program that I'll mention is Horizon Europe, which is our next program for research and innovation. It will build on the achievements of the current one, and it will also support some new activity areas, of course. It is structured in 3 pillars, as you can see on the slide. Now, in particular, for interactive, immersive technologies, such as AR and VR and 3D, the funding will be available in the second pillar in the middle, which is called Global Challenges and European Industrial Competitiveness. And under the banner of the next generation internet, you have a destination which is called the New Digital Interaction, through which we'll be supporting the further research and innovation of interactive technologies. Right now, I cannot share more details because we are finalizing the work program for the next years, 21-22. So I invite you from January and February to check what kind of actions we will be calling for under the New Digital Interaction destination in the next generation internet banner. The Digital Euro program, this is really a new instrument that we put on the table, which is going to support the digital transformation of various sectors, industrial and societal alike. It aims to build the strategic digital capacities of the Union and facilitate the wide deployment of digital technologies to be used by citizens, businesses, and administrations, as well as areas of public interest. It will be structured under 5 pillars, and specifically under Pillar 2, data spaces. We will strengthen our support to the digital transformation of cultural heritage by launching a data space for cultural heritage, which will build on the achievements of the Europeana initiative, and it will further expand it and strengthen it. We are also right now in the last miles to wrap up the work program. So please keep an eye, watch out as well for the actions that we will be supporting under the data space for cultural heritage. And I will finish with last policy action, which is one of the latest announcements by the European Commission done on the 3rd of December. In the context of the specific support to the audiovisual and media sector, the European Commission announced a number of actions to accelerate the recovery, transformation, and resilience of the media and audiovisual sectors. And as these sectors have really been badly hit by the current crisis, and they are also facing significant structural challenges. One of the actions proposed by the Commission is a VR and AR coalition to stimulate cooperation and cross-fertilization across sectors and ensure thus European leadership in this crucial and growing market. So this VR and AR coalition will provide a platform across the sector for synergies by fostering joint actions and commitments. Under this, this strand of work, VR Media Lab will also be launched to support creative cooperation on projects for new ways of storytelling and interacting through virtual and augmented reality. And the idea that it enables as well joint work, mutual learning between people coming from different professional groups, such as journalists, filmmakers, game designers, programmers, researchers. So there's a lot of cross-fertilization and working together. So with this, I would like to thank once again the organizers for a great conference. I'm also happy that Professor Frédéric Kaplan will be speaking after me about the Time Machine initiative, which is really impressive and which is also supported by the European Commission. Time Machine illustrates very well the untapped potential of advanced technologies in the cultural heritage area. So I wish you all an excellent conference, and I will be happy to take your questions. Thank you.